Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
what genuinely useful thing has been ruined by stupid people? State parks, but more tainted than ruined. My husband and I hiked at two separate state parks this weekend and I was appalled. We saw dog poop, dirty diapers, water bottles, and food wrappers on almost every trail we walked. Also, for the love of God, nobody wants to listen to your music. Use headphones, you heathen. National parks too. Just nature in general seems to have been ruined by stupid people. No one knows how to clean up after themselves anymore, no respect for the environment. Just people walking off trails and trampling native ecosystems, touching wildlife, and yes, the god-awful Bluetooth speakers. They don't like nature, they like the attention they get from posting pictures of themselves in nature on social media. The internet. Eternal September. It used to be that there would be a flood of new BS that had to taught netiquette every September when undergrads got their first account. In late 93, early 94, providers such as Delphi and AOL started letting the unwashed masses on, and September has never ended since. I remember when getting online required knowledge and intelligence. Online info and discussions were intellectually stimulating, helpful, and useful. Then providers made it so any moron could get online. Now the internet is flooded with spam, trolls, bots, scammers, propagandists, racists, conspiracy nuts, and flat earthers. In my city there was this bike sharing project. Amazing for students and young people. Within 3 days, all of the bikes, fucking all of them, got either stolen or badly damaged. I live in San Diego, and the same thing happened there. It happened over the course of a few months, but there went from being hundred, maybe even thousands of bikes to zero. You still see the Lime scooters, but definitely nowhere near as many as when those apps blew up. Last month they pulled out 22 e-scooters out of the river that runs next to downtown Tampa. It works well in Dublin because the bikes are so ugly looking there's no reason to steal one. I presume that's intentional. That's really sad. Airbnb. A cool, couch surfing idea that became a way to rent a spare room and save a little money on a hotel, got turned into a way to cut off housing supply and create a housing crisis, all by its own users. Right. Bullshit management apps making billions for some jackasses and ruining an entire sector. Food and restaurants. Housing. Taxis. It feels like it's getting to the point now that they're more expensive than the traditional option, so hopefully they'll start dying off. It was a way to skirt hotel taxes and hotel regulations. That's what all of these apps that take a traditionally corporate service and pitch it as a way for regular people to make money are doing. They skirt around our ridiculously meager labor regulations, industry regulations, and taxes. And even doing that, they operate at a loss to undercut competition, because Silicon Valley and speculative tech investors have broken how companies are valued. A company that's never been profitable, that owns nearly no assets, and just operates one popular app can be worth billions based on the idea that they're going to monopolize a market. And those investors can make it so. Google search. At the time, Google's algorithm was a breath of fresh air compared to the dog shit Ask Jeeves. Now its results are just those who paid the most to Google followed by those that paid the most to SEO companies. Even the goddamn App Store for Android. Google will have a sponsored app listed above the goddamn one you searched for by name. Thrifting. Yes, please don't go to thrift stores and resell the nice stuff. When I was super poor, it was so exciting to find something nice. Literally just to have a couple nice things. Resellers ruined it. It makes me so angry. The Goodwill in a really nice part of town used to be amazing for finding great stuff for cheap. Then the resellers appeared, as if they spontaneously burst into existence, and that Goodwill turned to shit so fast it was almost unbelievable. Resellers would get jobs at Goodwill and pick through items that their family, partners would come by as soon as it was on the floor. Management was too stupid to do anything or they were in on it. There was a big Goodwill that had bins, it was the last stop for clothes before they were tossed, so they were dirt cheap. These 20-something resellers would spend their entire days prowling the bins and taking everything that was good. I remember one time they were bringing out new bins and about 20 people lined up around them, and when the buzzers went off they all started digging through the clothes and throwing them around. I got pushed, hit, clothes were taken from my hands, had clothes thrown in my face, and in a span of less than 5 minutes they took all the good stuff. I then saw most of it at a vintage fair a week later with the prices jacked up like crazy. One guy had like 40 pairs of vintage denim that he bought for like $3 each, marked up to $60 plus a pair. I never went to those bins again, fuck those people. Public trust has been undermined by those who exploit it for personal gain. 100%, living in a big city there is a super high chance that people talking to you, ask for help, so on in public space want to scam you or sell you stuff. So I just stopped answering them and never go further than a friendly hello and no time or anything like that, but I completely skip random encounters in the city, because I lost trust in people. Also putting stuff outside of the apartment, your parcels, your bike, chances of stuff being stolen or destroyed got super high. German public life is going downhill. Sad to just focus and stick to yourself and people you know, but I don't want to deal with people scamming, stealing and exploiting while I have enough stuff to do and just want to get from A to B or have a bit free time and fun activity. They don't realize they are not smart, they destroy public trust in between all people and especially for those who sometimes really need help and none bothers to care anymore. And that just for some euro they could just get by working. I'll second this. Living in a city where there's someone on every corner either waving a clipboard at me or bumming for change, coupled with door-to-door scams and salesmen, and the fact that every phone call I get that isn't from a friend, family member is a scam or solicitor means I have absolutely no time for anyone I don't know. I don't even want to entertain the notion of speaking with anyone on the street because in almost every case they're either asking me for money or trying to sell me something. I don't have a nickel for a single one of you, and I can absolutely promise you with complete sincerity that I'm not, and will never be, interested in whatever cause you're plugging or whatever garbage you're trying to sell me. Emotional support animals and service animals. Contrary to popular belief, they are not the same thing at all, and stupid people getting fake ESAs has bled into it harming people with service animals. Only a medical professional can prescribe an ESA, not a website or registry, and an ESA is not allowed in public spaces like a service animal. It just allows the animal to live with you in places that usually wouldn't allow animals or pets. I work in the entertainment industry. We only allow service animals. We can't ask what they are for, but we can ask if it's a service animal. Most folks lie about it, but we make a mark on the leash so security knows they've been spoken with. They are given rules. If their animal is disruptive, loud, poops on property, the party is removed. Folks with legit service animals won't have any problems. And the fake ones either get scared off or get booted when it's a problem. Just want you to know that legally speaking you are allowed to ask, what job or task is the dog trained to perform, and the person must provide an answer. Some places even ask people to demonstrate that task, if they can, like a dog picking up an item that is dropped, but legally I don't think people are required to demonstrate anything. You can't go beyond that to ask about medical conditions or history, etc. Service dogs are meant for a very specific tasks though, and if the person can't answer exactly what that task is then it likely isn't a service dog. Og Sudafed. Pseudoephedrine is highly effective for allergy relief. My allergist describes phenylephrine as virtually worthless. He said M&Ms are better because at least they taste good. Yeah, not too long ago the FDA concluded that phenylephrine is ineffective. It's safe, but ineffective. Meds with pseudoephedrine are the only thing that really helps my allergies. Fuck whoever decided to make meth with it. I have a cold and bought some tonight at a late-night pharmacy, opposite a public housing estate. A meth head literally walked past loudly muttering something as the doors opened. I gave them my id and they gave me a pack of Codral. I asked if they just had one without the paracetamol and they reluctantly brought back Sudafed with a disapproving look. I felt like a druggie. But I'm like no, I don't need paracetamol as I have a cold and I need relief from my face, not a fever. I don't need an unnecessary hit of paracetamol just so you feel I'm not going to go mix it with old tires and paint thinner to make backyard hooch. The fact they stopped selling it in NZ for a while is really methed up. Democracy. Not choosing any sides here. Just people believing in and voting for false promises. People who are unwilling to alter their views when new information is given. People who are charismatic instead of intelligent or moral. Voting for someone because you think you'd enjoy a drink with them at a bar is the stupidest fucking thing imaginable to me. Exactly. I want my leaders to be people who are so intelligent and competent they feel out of my league. It should feel daunting to hang out with them because I don't think I can keep up mentally. People who think their vote needs to be earned by specific pandering to their pet concern, instead of looking at the whole package and thinking which candidate's platform aligns most closely with my own personal vision for the country. Sorry, that wasn't as snappy as yours. Many forms of government have been tried, and will be tried in this world of sin and woe. No one pretends that democracy is perfect or all-wise. Indeed, it has been said that democracy is the worst form of government except for all those other forms that have been tried from time to time. Winston S. Churchill, the 11th of November 1947. Nature, forest, the oceans, earth, edit, is that platinum poop? Should I be honored or hurt? Face with raised eyebrow. And space too. Don't forget all that space junk orbiting our planet. Antibiotics. Great for dealing with bacterial infections, not so good at dealing with viruses, and now we have antibiotic-resistant bacteria because of overuse. Don't forget to count industrial farming businesses feeding low-dose constant antibiotics to food animals, chickens, cows, just to make them get fat faster. Poultry scientist here. It's not even to make them get fat faster, it's so they don't slow the growth if they get sick. Proper biosecurity and disease prevention would do exactly the same thing, and then you'd have more effective antibiotics to treat whatever few diseases still slip through. But that takes more effort than just feeding them a constant low dose of antibiotics, and not even rotating them properly. The industry is breeding their own demise, but hey, at least quarterly profits are slightly higher.